Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is HD and welcome back to the GameCom Plantronics Grand Finals. It's time for game number 4 between Vilehawk and Check6Ver, and what an amazing series we've had thus far. We have Vilehawk spawning as the Blue Zerg at the top right hand corner of Zelnaga Caverns, and Check6Ver spawning as the Red Terran at the bottom left hand corner. And this is a map that, you know, as some may consider very, very balanced, I actually also consider this map to be just slightly Terran favored. And unfortunately, we don't really have any database to draw statistics from as we did in Brood War or anything like that, but this is a map where I feel like any Terran that's able to reach the gold expansion and then PF that location becomes a force that is almost not impossible, but it's very difficult to stop, because once they get a PF here, they can tank out, they can get to so many locations, and it becomes a very difficult spot for a Zerg player to break. So that's the one thing that I have about this map that can be difficult for Zerg players, and we'll see how Hawk deals with that if this game ends up going to the late game. But, you know, let's just talk a little bit about the players. Psyche getting up to this point. We have Hawk, who's driven a tremendous run through this tournament so far. It's been a 600-man pool, you know, playing for the honor of Vile, and just playing so well throughout this tournament. I've been watching a couple of games of him already. I met the guy at MLG. I did an interview with him. He's an amazing player. Been doing great so far, but he is down 1-2 in this series as it stands, and he's gonna have to pick up the pace if he wants to win. He has to win this game and the next game. Remember guys, this is a best of 5, so the pressure is on his shoulders to perform. And the other player, Check6Ver, what an amazing Terran, guys. I mean, I've been watching him already. He does not fear using nukes in TVZ, as so many players are like, you know what, nukes are expensive, they're hard to use, I'm just not gonna bother with it. No, Ver is showing that they can be used, and you know what, Ver is coming out here and making a name not only for himself, but also Check6 Gaming as well. So, you know, kudos to him for that, and I'm excited for either player that wins this tournament. We do have a Makarax opening here from Check6Ver, and it doesn't look like the drone. Oh, look at that! The drone coming out to go out here, and Ver moving the barracks back over the high ground so it did not reveal himself. Did you guys catch that? That's a huge opening to this game, because Ver almost revealed the second barracks to that drone that went down to the low ground to scout. So as it stands, Hawk doesn't even know about the barracks, and the Maka barracks opening essentially is coined by Maka Prime, a player who basically, it's a 2 racks opening. They open up with the barracks in the main and they place a second barracks hidden, and then they just go for 2 barracks pressure. And actually this is a very heavy pressure build, because look at how many SCVs are coming off the line. We have about 5-6 SCVs along with about 4 Marines. The Overlord scouts it out, a bunker already beginning to erect itself just outside of the range of the hatchery, and oh my god, the bunker forces to be canceled, and Ling's now coming out, but this could be devastating. More Marines are continuing to pump from those 2 barracks, and it looks like Ver is gonna try to end the game right here, right now, and I don't know if Hawk can hold this, but the spine crawler comes up at the very last second. Brilliant play, and oh, I cannot believe that Hawk held that off. That was incredible. I didn't quite pay attention to Hawk's opening. It didn't look like it actually looked like he did open 15 hatch, so really impressive hold if that's in fact the build that he opened up with, and he is going to be able to kill off every last Marine as well. Brilliant play by the Zerg player, showing that he was able to deal with the Maka barracks. I mean, look, he even sent a drone in, and then he's brought it out and then checked for the location of a hidden barracks right here, and he didn't see it. So it's like he had no idea this was coming, and it still came over to him. So a really, really good play by Hawk at that. The only hint that Hawk really had was he came in and he saw no gas at all. And anytime a Terran player doesn't have any gas, it indicates 2 things. They're either going 1 racks expand, which actually on this map is quite hard to do because the natural is so exposed. So I think that's why Hawk was able to deduce, hey, there may be a hidden barracks somewhere, because it's either 1 racks expand or it's 2 barracks pressure. So I think that's the reason why Hawk was able to hold that off. So really good map awareness right there, and really good intelligent scouting as well, and just being able to think 1 level above the opponent. So We do now have Zerglings taking control of that further Zelnaga tower, and Ver right now just sitting back inside his base is going to have a factory coming up as well as a macro CC for now, but no doubt that will lift off and land over at the natural in some time. But we do have yet another move out from Ver of Marines, and I just love how he plays such an aggressive style of Terran versus Zerg. There's always a patrol of units beginning to move out, and these Marines are going to deploy, but just to take the tower and then fall back. I love it. And you know what? Hawk has no idea how many forces are coming because he doesn't have any more units to scout with. All he saw were the Marines tagging the tower, and he has no further idea what's coming. So look, he's producing 8 Lings right now. He's making a Roach Warren. I think that was already coming anyways, but he does have a lot of Lings on the production tab right now, and you know, that could have been more drones. So the damage of just a simple poke has been done. And it looks like Hawk here gonna be able to tag the tower, realizes there are no forces anywhere on the map, is gonna take a little bit of map control for now. But guys, remember, this is the grand finals of GameCom Plantronics. These players are playing for fame, for recognition, for some awesome gaming stuff as well. There's a lot on the line, so they have to win. Well, they don't have to win. It's not like, you know, someone's going to kill them if they don't. But, you know, it would be pretty devastating if to make it all the way through this tournament and not win at the end. So I hope we see what happens pretty soon here. Ver is opening up with a double factory, actually, with Blue Flame upgrade on the way. So we're going to have some Blue Flame Hellions pushing out fairly soon here. And thank goodness that Hawk has a Roach Warren up, because the Roach Warren is going to, you know, provide him with that heavy, thick hide unit that can absorb so many shots from the Hellions when the Hellions decide to make their push out. And it looks like now is the time. The orbital command has lifted off. It is going to go ahead and make its way down to the natural. There are Lings waiting and ready, but those Marines, fearless as ever, are going to push out even without the stim pack upgrade or the combat shields. Wow, very bold push right there from the Marines. There could have been some Banelings waiting there. That could have been a really big disaster, but there wasn't. Thank goodness. So Hawk is going to fall back for now. Knows the timing of the expansion, and I would not be surprised to see him grab a third relatively quickly. Yes, he's going to start to work down those rocks immediately, and of course that's just drawing allude to the fact that a Zerg always needs to stay one base ahead of the Terran. But Ver is going to be pushing out with a very awkward timing of Hellions, Blue Flame Hellions here, and Marines as well. Everything is coming to join the party here. There's a party in the USA, and Miley Cyrus is invited. Hawk has some roaches out on the field, but he's gonna need, actually he may have enough to deal with this. Wow, that's a lot of roaches. So he will be able to deflect the Hellions for now, and he's gonna get a wrap around the Marines as well, preventing them from running away, but the Hellions burning those Lings away immediately, and the Marines could run back. But I don't know why Ver is deciding to engage there. That was kind of silly. Those Marines could have been saved, if anything. And now the Hellion's going to run right behind the natural expansion, picking off oh so many drones. Oh my god, the party has relocated over the Zerg natural, and we are having a backyard barbecue here, guys. A lot of drones for getting served up right now on the griller, and that was bad for Hawk. Really crushing blow to his economy. However, Ver did lose all of his Hellions, so, you know, anytime a Terran player trades all of his Hellions for drones, it's not really the best trade, because Zerg can remacro the drones right away, knowing that there's no units on the map to scare him anymore. So, you know, the best thing really is for a Terran to get in there, burn drones, and pull away. But as it stands, he actually lost all of his Hellions, so not the best trade. Still a good trade for the Terran at the end of the day. But we do have Hawk now securing that third expansion. Income tab showing that, yeah, he is still behind in harvesters ever since that humongous barbecue pit that kind of went down over here at the natural. But he isn't really reproducing more drones, which I find a little curious. He's actually supply blocked hard. Wow, been stuck at 92 for days. And finally, his supply cap is increased, and he's going to be able to reproduce some more drones. But yeah, he has that third hatchery going. He's going to try to play a macro-based game. And once again, I just want to draw back a little bit to my little intro. If you're going to play a macro game against a Terran on this map, you absolutely cannot let him get a planetary at this gold, because then it makes the game infinitely more difficult for the Zerg to win. So on the flip side of that coin, Ver is the one who wants to get that PF landed, and that's why he has not made this an orbital yet. See, guys, he's only got this as a normal command center making SCVs right now, not committing it to an orbital because he knows the PF is going to be infinitely more valuable. So yeah, he is going to be waiting and waiting until he feels comfortable to push out and make that happen. And meanwhile, he's making a great little Tetris here, just completely walling off the left side there, so that's going to force the Roaches to run down the right side, facing off a gauntlet of siege tanks, which isn't very nice at all. So Roach Baneling right now for Valhawk, not a bad unit composition. I would like to actually see him get into Meatless pretty soon, because there really isn't that much anti-air. There is a Spire on the way right now, so Meatless potentially gonna come out, and here we go. The command center has been told it is time, young Padawan, it's time to become a planetary fortress. And yeah, these tanks and marines are going to push forward and take out the rocks, laying down the groundwork for that CC to morph out. But the Roaches and Lings now, and Baneling's finally realizing, Hawk realizing that the PF is well underway. He has a creep spread a very long distance here, and this is Hawk's best chance to break this before the PF becomes, well, before the CC becomes a PF, before the creep becomes receded. This is Hawk's best chance. I would imagine he's cycling all attacking units right now to break that CC location. Yes, he is. He's got 12 meterless, 18 Lings on the way, and I think he's just waiting for the 12 meterless to come, and then he is going to engage. But the timing here is going to be very, very crucial. That window of opportunity is beginning to close, the creep beginning to recede. It's like an old man's hairline. It's just receding slowly and slowly. But yeah, it is going to fall back. And I gotta say, Hawk, now's your time, man. Don't hesitate. No, he isn't going to go for the break. That's a lot of tanks, so you gotta say, though. So I don't know. Maybe it's a wise decision for him to not go for it, but I don't know. I feel like at the same time, the best time now's the time to break that PF, not rather than later. So yeah, Hawk is playing a very patient game right now. I don't know if I agree with that, but he looks like he may possibly go for an engage here. No, not quite. And the PF is just moments away from finishing. So any hope really of trying to crush that with his ground forces, at least now, has been marginalized to a great effect. But we'll see. We'll see what he decides to do. There is another hidden command center being built in the little hallway here. And no doubt that's going to land down and take possession of the pocket expansion down below. Meatle is still trying to fly around and just bobbing in and out, trying to find an opening, a crack, a chink in the Terran armor. They haven't been able to do that quite yet, and a couple of Lings now flooding over to the left side, really making use of that creep highway. Tax dollars for the Zerg at work there, and here comes the Banelings. Oh my god, that's so many Banelings, but the planetary fortress and tanks combined, obliterating the Banelings before they hit their mark. However, there are still a lot of Roaches here. They are in range of the tanks, going to be able to pick off a lot of the tanks. In turn, the Meatle is still left unchecked here, killing off all the dropships. Not a bad attack by Hawk. And of course, once again, the key thing to take away there is he kept the majority of his Meatlisks alive. However, we got to talk about that flip side. He didn't kill the PF. While he did trade with the Terran army fairly well, he didn't quite kill the PF, and I'm sure that was his objective, and that did not come to fruition. So he's going to have to go back to the drawing board a little bit. Albeit his drawing board does have the advantage of having a significant mutaflock. But yeah, he is still continuing. Wow, look at this creep spread, guys. There's actually a creep tumor being built literally not even a foot away from that command center, from that orbital command. PF, actually, sorry. So look at the creep tumor on the map. It's like little octopus tentacles, if you will. Or like, it looks like a crab, actually. I don't know. This like the crab eyes right here, and like the crab arm is extending. The Zerg is extending its vice grip, slowly crushing and constricting the Terran player. But does Hawk have enough? No Banelings here. There they are. They're coming in from the back, and oh, those Marines! Good split from Ver, but that is not going to be enough to mitigate the damage from the Banelings, and Hawk able to kill off all those Marines. Brilliant play from Hawk, and Hawk is doing a great job this game. Looking good here, guys. If you're a fan of a series being drawn out to the final game, because Hawk is poised to take a victory here. His saturation could certainly use some work, though. Only 60 drones, that's really surprising. He needs to pump like 15 more drones, like right now, and get them over to this third expansion and mine some gas. Oh man, he needs that lifetime gas from Chevron right now. He's only got 150 gas. Call in and get some gas. But yeah, Hawk is going to move in with these Mutalisks. And you know, the fact that he doesn't have that gas supply so high, look, he's only banking 300 compared to 1500 minerals, makes these mutalisks actually that much more valuable because they're not easily replenishable. Well, as I say that, another flock joins the flock, so yeah. But Hawk here is going to be moving in with a large army of mutas once again. No Thor response yet from Ver. These mutas actually able to clear out all the Marines, but oh my goodness, so many mutalisks being destroyed right there. And that replenishing flock of mutas, I think they just all died. At least the numbers that they bolstered up just all went down back to the original numbers. So yeah, I was talking about Hawk not going to be able to be frivolous with his gas, but he just kind of threw away about 600 gas right there, and he needs to get those drones. Why are the drones not mining the extractor? That's a big blunder right now, and he needs to make sure he gets on top of that. He is going to engage once again. He's going to be able to take out the Terran army, of course, here as well. Ver has not been able to play that style of a play that he likes to play, and we've watched Ver time and time again here throughout the series. He likes to be aggressive and constantly attack the Terran, the Zerg player. However, I would argue on this map, it is better for a Terran to sit back on the planetary fortress, max out to 200, and then push out. Because pushing out on this map with Ver's style of constant aggression is not safe with all the creep being so close to your base. And on top of that, if you've got this easily defendable position here, you know, really the best idea is just to chill here, relax, take a chill pill, and max out, because this is not going to work out for our Terran player Ver. And oh my god, just a decimation of his army. The Thor just goes down almost instantly, and Ver, thank goodness he has a PF to fall back to. That's the only saving grace of his army here, and the Marines quickly stimming up to keep some anti-air around the PF, so that's going to keep mining going on for now. But you know what? Even though Ver, you know, I was kind of dissing his little playstyle on this map here, but you know what? You guys got to keep in mind he does have a 4th and a 5th base mining right now. So, actually, he can play that aggressive style because he can replenish his army so quickly. So I have to take back my words and swallow it a little bit, because he can replenish his army so easily. Look, he's already at 140 supply after, you know, trading so heavily with the Zerg. But, I don't know, this game can really go either way. Hawk now grabbing a 5th expansion as well. The creep has spread so far deeply down Ver's lines, and here we go, another big battle. The Banelings just getting in there and destroying the Marines. It is an acid army here, and oh my god, SCVs are getting destroyed by Banelings as well, and the PF is going to go down to the Mutaflock, and oh wow, Ver loses control over the PF at the gold. That is actually huge. Our Marine's gonna be able to come up here and save the PF in time. SCVs are trying to heal the PF. This is so crucial, guys. Can he keep it alive? And no, he does not. And Hawk walks away with that, from that, feeling like an all-star. Those mutalisks all deserve to be promoted to, well, unfortunately, mutas can't morph into anything in StarCraft 2. Back then, they could become a guardian, but they deserve to be promoted in some which way. But they kill off the PF at the gold. I cannot begin to tell you how crucial that is. This is the platform, the launching point for all Terran maneuvers on this map. And now, basically, you've got a Terran who's got kind of this little convex of bases, concave if you will, and his expansions are all kind of exposed, especially the hidden ninja one all the way at the 3 o'clock. You know, actually Hawk, yeah, he still doesn't know about that. So this is very, very exposed without an expansion right here. This is kind of like the arch, the keystone in an arch, and Ver really needs to get a PF up there ASAP, if not for at least the gas and the whatever residual gold minerals that there are there. But wow, Hawk is actually in a lot of trouble because he still doesn't know about the gold expansion here. Excuse me, not the gold, but the Ninja Expo, and he's still trying to thrust himself headlong into this PF. I think this time he will be able to do it. The SCVs are repairing the PF, and the Banelings are on target on the SCVs. Now the Marines coming into play, and wow, another PF goes down. And if this expansion was a loner boner before, it certainly is now. So one thing he's still got going for him is Hawk doesn't even know it's there. So that kind of sucks. But oh no! Nuclear missiles being launched again. We have a double nuclear launch. Hawk is all over it. He's actually pulling drones around the backside here. Oh, those are going just to go Maynard over to that expansion. But a nuclear missile has fallen. That Corruptor actually manages to stay alive by the skin of his teeth. So does that Infestor. So lucky them. But nice nuclear action once again from Ver, and he did this in game 1. He bought himself back in the game with nuclear missiles. Can he do it again? It remains to be seen. Hawk engaging here with the majority of his army, but those tanks are shelling the Infestors apart. But I think Hawk has enough Mutalisks to clear this up, and Hawk breaks through and kills off the entire Terran army. Brilliant play. However, 2 nukes are now in production as well. Additional nukes, that is. So we possibly could see some more nuclear action. And of course, the funds for all of this still coming from that Ninja expansion. Oh my goodness. Ver is still playing a very good game. This is definitely on the edge. Ver is establishing that Archstone, the keystone inside the arch right here. He needs to make sure he establishes that position for map terrain and control. But yeah, the nukes are now ready and waiting, and I wonder if he's going to launch another nuclear missile. Oh no, Infestors coming around the backside! Just a little poke there. I think they were taking a little scenic route. They took a wrong turn there. But those Infestors need to get back, and we do have another nuclear missile being launched here at the expansion. Is Hawk all over it? Another nuke possibly could go down, and oh no, Hawk is not paying attention! Oh, he pulls it away at the last second. That is his first-person player view, and my goodness, that was close. Some eggs will go down. But the Zerglings hatch right as soon as the nuke falls, so they come out with full HP. And another nuke, ladies and gentlemen, getting launched on this hatchery. This is just an incredible game of nuclear tactics. Broodlords are now engaging, and Hawk is not paying attention. Oh my god! He just lost all of his drones at his expansion. That is a devastating blow. He is actually going to continue to attack here, and that is very rare to see a Zerg player or any player lose all of his workers at the high level to a nuclear missile. Hawk too preoccupied with the attack here. Maybe he didn't even hear the nuclear missile go off, but that was a devastating blow, and he has now found out about the hidden expansion over at the 3 o'clock. I cannot believe what we just saw right there. Hawk now is he is behind in economy. He is actually even on par with Ver in terms of bases. And if he can actually pick off this planetary, he would be in a good spot. No heal, no repair from the SCVs, so the PF will fall. And what a game we have in our hand. This is just an epic series, and oh no, another nuclear missile coming down. All these eggs potentially could go down. Those drones, thankfully, their lives will be spared. In fact, all drones' lives are going to be spared. So that's a good way to deal with nuclear missiles. Just transfer all your drones. Okay, so, well, Ver is going to, at least be happy that he stopped mining for a little bit. But let's go ahead and just count how many bases are actually mining. We have 1 base mining over here, 2 bases mining over here, 1 base mining for Ver, and that is it. It's a 1 base Zerg, a 1 base Terran versus a 2 base Zerg. It is still a very close game, too close to call. Vikings now in play to deal with the Broodlords, but where are the ghosts, which have been so effective all game long? Well, they're actually off nuking stuff, but there needs to be ghosts in the actual army as well. There are the ghosts there, launching off that sniper fire, picking off the Broodlords almost instantly. And now some infested Terrans being spawned from the high little cliffs up here, getting spawned down to the low ground. The infested Terrans applying a little bit of DPS, but they get shelled by the artillery from the Crucio shock cannon and the siege tanks. And, what a game, guys. What a game we have here. This is the GameCom Plantronics Grand Finals. We have another nuclear missile being launched here. Ver has links actually next to the Ghost. The Ghost is not going to run out of energy before the nuke drops. And, oh, no. It looks like this Ghost will actually go down to the Zerglings here, which do have 2/2 and adrenal glands. Oh, the nuke does fall down. So, oh my god, the hatchery at only 60 HP as well. And I just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we saw in game 1, slowly but surely, Ver dismantled Hawk through nuclear usage. And it's kind of working again in this game. You know, I just feel like maybe this is the weakness. Maybe this is the evolution of Terran versus Zerg. They got to start using more nuclear missiles. Look at all the damage this is doing, the economic damage, the larva damage, the psychological damage, as I mentioned before. And the nuclear missile is going to fall. The hatchery is just moments away from dying. This hatchery hemorrhaging. All right, it is bleeding. We'll just go with something easy. So it's bleeding right now. It is almost dead, and Ver, surprisingly in a position of control, has pushed his way through the center of the map. There are no Broodlords on the map for the Zerg side either, so Hawk is just operating off of pure Infestors, and oh no, what happened to all the energy on these Infestors? Did they get EMP'd? They almost certainly had to be EMP'd. They have no energy at all, which basically means they're just cannon fodder until they get some energy going for them. Not good for the Zerg right now. Hawk is possible. Oh, he loses the hatchery, and that was his last mining expansion. In fact, 2 packs of Marines killing off a hatchery apiece, and Hawk now is on the edge of losing this game. Ver on the verge of taking the GameCom Plantronics Grand Finals, and what a series of games from him. The Infestors now finally building up a little bit of energy, but not even enough for Fungal yet. And this could be it, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's all gonna come down to the Fungals here. If he waits for all his Fungals and he can take out this entire army with just mass Fungals, that's his hope. That's his one hope, but he's got to get through the EMP shockwaves first, and you know, that's just, I don't even know if that's going to happen. And of course, following that, he's got to win, because he can't continue to play a macro game at this point any further. Oh, he's going to get a lot of the ghosts. He needs to EMP the rest of the, or Fungal the rest of those ghosts, but he doesn't manage to get it down. He could have, if he had killed off all those ghosts, he would have been in a decent position to conserve the energy on his Infestors. Wouldn't have to worry about EMP shockwave, and he could theoretically Fungal the crap out of this army, which, by the way, only has a single dropship healing those Marines. So Ver is very lacking today in medical assistance. So you could surely use some global health insurance there, or a little bit of a Obamacare. But we do have Hawk here picking off another ghost there. Good play right there. And his Infestors now have energy for Fungal. The moment we've been waiting for. No, EMP! Oh, no EMP going down in the Marines. Why is he running away? The tank's absorbing, actually shelling away a lot of these Infestors. And finally, the mass fungal growth going down. Is it going to be enough? No, I don't think so. And Ver holds on barely. And we have a possible victory impending here. This is it for Hawk. I don't see him winning this game, but he is going to stick it out for, you know, for the Swarm. You know, he's going to try to stay in there and hold his own. I mean, kudos to him for that, but I just don't know what he can do at this point. He has no production at all. Nothing. I mean, he's not even producing anything. I wonder why. All he's got is a hatchery. He has enough minerals to at least make some Zerglings, but he isn't making a darn thing. His APM is actually currently at 0. Oh no, I wonder if he is just not doing anything in this game. Is he just chilling right now? Is he like taunting the Terran and waiting for the Terran to just kill all his buildings? That sucks. Well, I don't know what the Zerg is doing right now, and Ver is certainly going to win this game at this point. I don't see him losing. Look, it's 135 supply to 25, okay, guys? So, Ver is your champion. I'm going to call it here, but before the fat lady sings, I'm that confident about it. Ver is your champion of GameCom Plantronics, guys, and I want to thank you all for tuning into this broadcast. Once again, I want to thank all the fans out there of esports, all the players who have been watching me cast games on YouTube. If you guys want to keep watching more games, make sure to subscribe to me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all those awesome things. You guys can find me at HD StarCraft. We do finally have the GG from Vilehawk coming out. So Check 6 wins GameCom Plantronics, and of course, big thanks and big, you know, just thumbs up to the guys at GameCom Plantronics for making this tournament happen. So thank you once again, guys, for all the support. I'm gonna keep casting games as long as you guys keep liking them, and I want to thank you guys all, of course, for following me and subscribing and all that good stuff. So I love you guys. More games will be coming out soon, and this is HD signing out. Till next time.